The Afghani is the currency of Afghanistan. It is nominally subdivided into 100 pul, although there are no pul coins currently in circulation. Original Afghani, the first Afghani was introduced in 1925. In addition to being subdivided into 100 pul, 20 Afghani were equal to the Omani. The rate of conversion from the rupee is sometimes quoted as 1 Afghani equals 1 rupee 6 paisa, based on the silver contents of the last rupee coins and the first Afghani coins. The Afghani initially contained 9 grams of silver. Except during World War I, Afghanistan's foreign exchange rate has been freely determined by market forces. However, for some periods, a dual exchange rate regime existed in Afghanistan, an official exchange rate which was fixed by the Afghan Central Bank, and a free market exchange rate which was determined by the supply and demand forces in Kabul's money bazaar called Sarai Shahzada. For example, in order to avoid the seasonal fluctuations in the exchange rate, a fixed exchange rate was adopted in 1935 by the Bank-e Milli, which was then responsible for the country's exchange rate system and official reserves. Bank-e Milli agreed to exchange the Afghanis at 4 Afs against 1 Indian rupee in 1935. After the establishment of Dar Afghanistan Bank as the Central Bank of Afghanistan, such a preferential official fixed exchange rate continued to be practiced. Although Dar Afghanistan Bank tried to keep its official rate close to the Sarai Shahzada's exchange rate, the gap between the official and free market exchange rates widened in the 1980s and during the Civil War. Since 2002, Dar Afghanistan Bank has adopted a floating exchange rate regime and has let the exchange rate to be determined freely by market forces. The Afghani exchange rate vis-à-vis the US dollar since 1950 has been shown in the following table. Prior to the US invasion of Afghanistan, warlords, political parties, foreign powers and forgers each made their own Afghani banknotes, with no regard to standardization or honoring serial numbers. In December 1996, shortly after the Taliban took control of Afghanistan's institutions, Ihsanullah Ihsan, the chairman of the Taliban's central bank, declared most Afghani notes in circulation to be worthless and cancelled the contract with the Russian firm that had been printing the currency since 1992. Ihsan accused the firm of sending new shipments of Afghani notes to ousted President Burhanuddin Rabbani in northern Takhar province. The exchange rate at the time of Ihsan's announcement was 21,000 Afghani to the US dollar. The Northern Alliance then had banknotes produced in Russia which were sold on the markets of Kabul at half their value. In April 2000, the Afghani traded at 6,400 AFA per USD. By 2002, the Afghani was valued at 43,000 AFA per USD. By 2009, the Afghani was valued at 45 AFA per USD. Coins equals, in 1925, bronze and brass 2, 5 and 10 pul, bill and 20 pul, silver a 1/2 and 1 Afghani, and gold a 1/2 and 1 Omani coins were introduced, followed by silver 2 a 1/2 Afghani and gold 2 a 1/2 Omani in 1926. In 1930, bronze and brass 1 and 25 pul were added, along with bronze 3 pul and cupro nickel 10 and 20 pul in 1937. In 1952, aluminium 25 pul and nickel-clad steel 50 pul were introduced, followed by aluminium 2 and 5 Afghani in 1958. In 1961 nickel-clad steel 1 Afghani 2 Afghani and 5 Afghani were minted. The 1 and 2 Afghani coins show years of 1340 and the 5 Afghani coin shows the year AH 1381. In 1973, the Republic of Afghanistan issued brass-clad steel 25 pul, copper-clad steel 50 pul and cupro nickel-clad steel 5 Afghani coins. These were followed, between 1978 and 1980, by issues of the Democratic Republic of Afghanistan consisting of aluminium bronze 25 and 50 pul and cupro nickel 1 Afghani 2 Afghani and 5 Afghani. A number of commemorative coins were also issued by the Islamic State of Afghanistan between 1995 and 2001. Banknotes equals, between 1925 and 1928, treasury notes were introduced in denominations of 5 Afghanis 10 Afghanis and 50 Afghanis. In 1936, 2 Afghani 20 Afghani and 100 Afghani notes were added. The Bank of Afghanistan took over paper money production in 1939, issuing notes for 2 Afghanis 5 Afghanis 10 Afghanis 20 Afghanis 50 Afghanis 100 Afghanis 500 Afghanis and 1000 Afghanis. The 2 and 5 Afghani notes were replaced by coins in 1958. In 1993, 5,000 and 10,000 Afghani notes were introduced. A pothole cave or mouth of a shaft is said to be visible on the 10,000 Afghanis banknote as a limited dark area in the hillside above the ancient pole or gateway at the ruins near Lashkar Gah. This is possibly the entrance to one of the man-made undergrounds at Kala-i-Boast. New Afghani, between October 7, 2002, and January 2, 2003, a new Afghani was introduced with the ISO 4217 code AFN. No subdivisions have been issued. It replaced the previous Afghani at 2 distinct rates. Issues of the government of President Burhanuddin Rabbani were replaced at a rate of 1,000 to the new Afghani, whilst the issues of Abdul Rashid Dostum were replaced at a rate of 2,000 to the new Afghani. The new Afghani was valued at 43 Afghani to the US dollar. Prior to the reissue, there were more than 15 trillion Afghani in circulation after unrestrained printing under Taliban rule and during wars and occupation. In October 2003, Afghan Central Bank Governor Anwar al-Haq Hadi announced that Afghans should use their own Afghani currency in daily transactions rather than United States dollars or Pakistani rupees. This was in preparation for October 8 when all prices in the Afghan marketplace were to be specified in Afghani. After depreciating during the last quarter of 2003/04, the Afghani has been appreciating steadily, gaining 8% against the US dollar between end March 2004 and end July 2004. This appreciation, at a time of increasing inflation, appears to reflect a greater willingness by the population to use the Afghani as a medium of exchange and as a store of value. This trend appears to be attributable to the relative stability of the exchange rate since the introduction of the new currency, administrative measures aimed at promoting its use, such as the requirement that shopkeepers must price goods in Afghani. Donors are increasingly making payments in Afghani instead of US dollars, and this appears to be widely accepted. Coins In 2005, coins were introduced in denominations of 1 Afghanis 2 Afghanis and 5 Afghanis. Banknotes On October 7, 2002, banknotes were introduced in denominations of 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 500, and 1,000 Afghanis. The 1 Afghani 2 Afghani and 5 Afghani notes were replaced by coins in 2005. In 2004 and 2008, the security features on several denominations were improved. See also, Economy of Afghanistan, Rupee, Afghan Rupee. References. Further reading, Pick, Albert. Standard Catalogue of World Paper Money, General Issues. Colin A. Bruce II and Neil Schaffer. Kraus Publications. ISBN 0-87341-207-9. External links, Afghanistan's Paper Money, Ancient Banknotes of Afghanistan, Ministry of Finance, Afghanistan, Afghanistan exchange rates,